ones and blessings to you, and all of your family of light today. This day, in which together we begin to explore this more cosmic approach to being you and living here in this now moment of incredible light and upliftment. So much is opening up for you. So much. To really know this, you have to take time to explore. We keep saying this, but it's true, and we cannot do that part for you. We cannot get you to sit down and go within and find those new rooms within you, those new spaces that are now accessible and all that is within them. The perspectives and consciousness available for you to merge with and retrieve, to incorporate. No, we can only point you in that direction, encourage you, tell you there is big stuff there and say go get it. Please. And the rest is up to you. Often light workers, you are so aware of how others do not heed their inner urges. Their calls to more awareness, greater ease. To more love and joy in their lives. It can seem so obvious to you that life is pointing out to someone else, calling them into a greater relationship with themselves. In the past, you often would tell them how you noticed this and encourage them to act upon it. Of course, now in your sovereignty, you've learned to let them find their way. Yet even now, you still don't realize that sometimes when you find you are not in a life experience you want, you forget. You forget to do the simplest thing, which is to go inside, find the energy that is resonant with what you don't like, because it's in you. That's why that experience happened. And explore it. Listen to it. Understand it. See if you can, where it comes from. Don't spend too much time, but be in a state of unity with you, and understand all of this. And then, shift it, revise it, choose a new perspective. In effect, what you call heal and what we would just see as resolving something you don't prefer to experience and creating something you prefer more. And when you unattended to what you think of as wounds, which are really just stories or perceptions that are distorted, which are creating experiences you don't like. You are really living the truth of your being more and more fully when you take the time to do this. Because frankly, lovely ones, just like other humans sometimes don't really heed the call. We are teasing you a bit, but we're also quite serious in this. You must realize that to really live the life potential you have created, you have to take seriously these ideas that you create your experience, and you also, out of self-love, might consider that nothing is really too small or too unimportant for you to attend to in your life. And where we're really headed in all of this, is this: realize that in some ways, you are complacent. And in this complacency, you have developed a habitual tolerance of life being okay, or life being good, in some areas, but not really being great. And you have gotten used to letting things go in these areas where life is kind of good, or okay. You've gotten used to letting these things go. Regardless of this, at the level of desire, at the level of the true, incredible fast-moving flow of the current of you, you want more than this, you want perfection. You want to really optimize your life. That is so much what it is about to be human. An endless drive toward finding the best version of life and creating that. That is innately human. That is your shared quality in this human experience more than anything. So if you're not feeling this, if you're not feeling a strong desire to continually enhance and expand your life experience in all kinds of ways, then you've in some way got that complacency thing going. Because this continual drive to discover more and more joy is your nature. Not more and more contentment, more and more joy. So in fact you have to kind of numb that drive a bit to not feel it. You've got to build a habit of tuning out your inner preferences in some areas of life, or deciding you're okay with not having it, in order to not feel it. Of course this happens in life, when you don't feel that confident about creating what you want. But the thing is, now, you're embracing your divine powers of creatorship. And the thing is, you experience this contentment. And we understand that it's an achievement. Because so much of human life was not really that peaceful, and many of you really want to savor this thing that you think of as peacefulness, which is really just contentment. Which is really just no more trauma. And we understand this. And we know you are enjoying feel more of it. So we encourage you to soak it up. That's all good and wonderful. But we want you to remember it's not the destination. Contentment is not joy. It's really not joy. It's clearly, definitely not joy. And you were made for joy. So, tolerating contentment is a bit like a distraction from, actually, the quite excellent stuff available to you. And which you have spent a long time creating. Even if your version of tolerating contentment is really a lot more like enjoying contentment, we are here to prod you and remind you and even kind of nag you a bit and say, don't sit there and get so distracted by that you forget you came here for exquisite, radiant, bubbling over joy. Those moments in life when you're laughing so hard your face turns red. Meredith had some of this delicious experience yesterday. Those moments are the reminders that it's all mean to be like that. Not necessarily that literal experience, but at a pitch, energetically, which is much higher than contentment and a lot more like laughing so hard your face turns red. You see, lovely ones, the truth is, and this is the issue, so we're going to talk about it quite directly and then about what to do about it. You're not really used to positive intensity. And you really hate negative intensity. It doesn't feel good to feel quite intense feelings that you would view as negative. And the truth is, you're not used to sustained positive intensity. What you would call positive emotion. You're not really used to the intensity of sustained, exquisite joy. Because, actually, sustained, exquisite joy is super fast vibrating energy. And you didn't have the capacity for it before. Now you've got the energetic capacity for it. But you have to build kind of an emotional affinity with having this experience more often and longer. You gotta build it. You actually might be surprised to learn that the truth is, you actually tend to shy away from exquisite energies like joy. You tend to prefer the calmer, gentler stuff. You tend to think that's the aspiration. Realize that this comes from your own experiences being so challenging, not because it's the actual destination. It's great to have contentment as your go-to emotion, rather than rage, or grief, or irritation. But it's a lot better to reach even higher and to grow your capacity for joy. And then to grow your capacity for bliss, and most of you don't have it yet. You don't have it yet. You don't have that familiarity to handle the fast-moving, high-vibration stuff all the time. But you came here choosing to insert yourself into a realm where you were determined to get there, in the material. To bring the material into a new, higher standard for vibration. To merge with all that you are. And to do this while retaining your connection to all that you are. And then becoming, through resonance, an ambassador to Earth for other aspects of your lineage to discover all this, with you, through you, as we talked about yesterday. That is the point. And so to really embrace our message yesterday. To start to host your cosmic family on Earth more and more. The point is not to create a guest room and spend all this time on that. The point is to get used to higher frequencies more and more often and give up contentment and reach for joy. Reach for bliss. Don't stop at contentment. Reach for fantastic, expansive experiences of freedom. And start to cultivate your new set point, ideally, something higher than contentment. Something more like hope, or even enthusiasm. And when you can get to enthusiasm more and more often. And eagerness. Which are really words for happiness. Happiness is really eager and enthusiastic. Then you are going to find that thing you've missed and wanted for so long, so here is the carrot that we're using to lure you forward. When you get to eagerness and enthusiasm, you're going to find your zest for life. Because you're going to feel that thing that you human beings call purpose. Purpose. Because you're going to be, in happiness, in eagerness, and in enthusiasm, you're gonna be right on the brink of passion. And that is really what most of you are not feeling right now. You've changed so much, that you haven't really felt like doing much. And this is because you've been integrating the energies. Building your energy structure. And also getting more and more comfortable with all the change in your life, your jobs, your relationships, your feelings, your understanding, your energy level. So a lot has been going on, and in this year of 2013, you have completely reformatting your body to play in the new earth energies. And the way you will most joyfully do that is with one another. And in creation. In acts of creation and co-creation or collaboration. And in sharing fun and joy. And the way to get more used to what you've got going on, is to continue to deepen your self-love. To really pay attention to the things large and small, that you have been tolerating, but could really go from good to sensational. And to be willing to take the time to do this. To go within, and in unison, revise your energy structure and your stories, and your expectations. All of this is really just revising your consciousness, right? And so you're building your capacity for higher vibrations and vibrations that are higher than contentment. And you work into more happiness, more and more of the day. You reach for eagerness and enthusiasm and happiness. And you cultivate your ability to stay in those feeling states more and more often, and it's actually going to be practice for you. It's going to be practice for you because I'm telling you quite directly, you have tended to shy away from sustained intensity. Of any kind. Including the good stuff. So. There were reasons for this in the past, but they're gone now. And for what your cosmic family is coming for, in part, is to see and experience this exquisite new earth with you. But also, they're coming to support and assist you. To amplifying your energies by merging with you. And expanding your consciousness by merging with you, so you can create. And for you to do this, in the way you've intended, you have got to grow your capacity for the intensity of passion and freedom. And in doing this, rediscover your unique drive. For expressing your essence. Which is what you think of as purpose and what we're calling passion. Your unique passions for life, and in these arenas in which you feel this, create. That what's opening up for you next. And in order to really claim this, you have to take the time, to go within, to revise the things that you kind of gotten yourself used to that are kind of okay or good, but that aren't really great. And you've got to become accustomed to being in more sustained, elevated vibrations, longer and longer. In a sense, facilitating your familiarity and comfort with the intensity of joy. We look forward to your capacity for this becoming more familiar and growing, because this is really what you wanted all along. I am Archangel Michael. I hope you liked the video. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to check out the other uploads and subscribe if you like it.